I don't think I ever thought about CO2 supplies in my life, but apparently they matter. And there are a number of planned shutdowns in Europe. So what's the situation now?
Well, it's interesting. I checked in with a few beverage companies before coming here, and I don't think it's anywhere near a crisis. I think it's being very well managed. But as you said, I never thought that we'd need to exhale a little extra CO2 to keep the businesses going.
Tell us about some of the rationing. I mean, I imagine that some of it's managed because people can't buy as much as maybe they could at a time when the World Cup is going on. I don't know if that's bad timing as well. Tesco, for instance, is restricting customers to 10 cases of beer and 5 of cider or soft drinks. Still seems like a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is coming from the producers because, again, in touching base with Coke, for example, touching base with Anheuser-Busch, I think that both those very large companies are managing their supplies quite well. CO2, for example, is largely coming from recycling of their own waste. At Anheuser-Busch, Coke is able to source some supplies for the UK from other bottlers in the region. So I think that maybe it's the risk of them possibly running out that's driving the caution on restrictions there, rather than any real risk of, any actual event of that happening at this point. And also, just bear in mind that new production plants are coming on stream as we speak. So we were down to 1 out of 5. We're up to 2 out of 5 for CO2 production. And I think within a couple of weeks, we should have much better production of CO2.
For those companies that manage the supply by creating their own CO2 from waste, as you had mentioned, is there opportunity for those guys to take a little bit of share from the others who may not be in as good a CO2 position?
Exactly the question I asked. People are being very tight-lipped. Again, I don't really think we've had significant outages, certainly in the take-home channel. It's a little less clear on premise, in bars and so on, where you need the CO2 for the draft beer. But again, I think that if this were to persist for several more weeks, there really is share opportunity for those who are better equipped to deal with it. But at this point, I don't see any major damage to any particular brands.
Sporting events are typically good times for some of these beverage makers, which may see an uptick in consumption. We were just talking about World Cup ratings here in the United States, which are down because we don't have a team playing in the World Cup. Are we going to see any impact whatsoever in terms of the beverage companies' earnings?
Well, Anheuser-Busch is a huge global sponsor of World Cup. I don't necessarily think they were expecting Team USA to go all the way, but globally it's got tremendous following, particularly throughout Europe, South Africa, where they just bought SAB, Russia, where they have a venture with FS. So I think AB should see a lift to their business. The hot weather in Europe is certainly helping people celebrate any wins for World Cup. So I am expecting a bit of a lift still. And again, as long as they don't run out of product.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.